it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road across from Rufino's. Welcome to the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handgriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gocho. Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Beautiful day here in Baton Rouge. Glad that you're with us on the day after Super Bowl 60. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. The game was a little bit rough. Seattle wins at 29-13. A game that the Seahawks dominated. 16 points almost doesn't seem to do it justice. The Seahawks defense completely dominated this game, and their special teams were spectacular as well. Whether they blitzed Drake May or they didn't blitz Drake May, they were able to really affect the runner-up for the league MVP pretty much all afternoon long. One of our favorites, Devon Witherspoon, was fantastic. It was something that Seattle hadn't shown in the playoffs or in the last two regular season games. They brought him 7 times, and every one of them made Drake May do something he didn't want to do. And the fact that Seattle was able to get home, when they only rushed 4, they got pressure right at 50% of the time. So whether they blitzed or they did, and there was really not much of a run game to talk about for New England, whether they blitzed or they didn't blitz, they were able to affect him and New England's offense. This, for 3 quarters, this reminded me of the LSU-Alabama championship game, that both defenses were playing really well, but one team was, kicking field goals. The other team was just hanging on until the dam finally burst. And, well, it was a little bit different in the fourth quarter than that game. But the first 3 quarters, it looked exactly like that championship game. And if you were on the LSU side, it was frustrating. If you're on the New England side, man, their first drive gets into Seattle territory. They miss on the 3rd down. That was the first of the blitzes by Witherspoon. And they didn't get back into New England, into Seattle territory, Jimmy, until the fourth quarter.
I think it's really good because comparison, Charlie. I mean, no different levels of play, but I mean, I thought New England's defense was pretty good last night. I mean, when you could, how many 3rd down stops did they get? Whether they forced punts or field goal attempts? About 9. I mean, 10.
Seattle was 4 of 16 on 3rd down.
12 times you stop them on 3rd down.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough, man. But you're on the field the whole game like LSU's was, and LSU was kind of hanging around. And we were wondering, if it kind of in, let me ask you this, though, Charlie, but about the middle of the second quarter when it's like 6-0 or 9-0, when it's 9-0 at half, is it over for New England, or did they weather the storm?
No, that's the one thing that
because
kept it going.
LSU Bama, I was wrong, but I kind of thought LSU's they're in striking range,
We see games like this where you feel like one side is completely dominated, which Seattle did.
Everything
but it doesn't
the
look
scoreboard.
like the scoreboard, yeah. And so if New England comes out on that first drive of the second half and they just bust one, okay, you got, 35 minutes worth of halftime to come up with something that you think is going to work. Trick play, different formation, whatever. And they come out the second half and they go 3 and out. And at that point, I'm like, well, okay, this is not going to happen. But, yeah, if they would have come out in the third quarter and they would have done something to catch Seattle off guard and gotten a score, even if it was just a field goal on that first drive, it would have given them a little bit of a ray of hope. But when you come out of that elongated halftime and the first drive looks exactly like every other drive for New England, then you go no.
Well, McDonald threw a different pitch as far as Witherspoon pressure, because rarely did they do that. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like maybe once every other game or something. I mean, he may have come as much as he did, close to the whole season. We did say that I like him in coverage so much. I don't know if they'll be using him as a spy. You talked about how in different situations they did use different spies or different formations and sort of adjusted the line. But heck with the spy, just go get him. And, I mean, he's just so disruptive. And when they just brought 4, they were disruptive. The line of scrimmage dominated this game. I mean, if you want to talk about you flip quarterbacks into different teams, I don't think Seattle would have won with Drake May with those lines of scrimmage. I mean, Darnold gets his credit. You got to give him his credit.
Sure.
It was once you can't win a playoff game with Sam Darnold. What do you want to do the whole damn Super Bowl? And so, just he, man, he's better than May, but he was getting if Darnold was getting pressured as much as May was and hit as much as May was yesterday or last night, he might have had 3 turnovers in the game. It's just they got killed, and Charlie, and it starts right here because Will Campbell can't control where he was drafted, but damn it, I mean, the most pressures that an offensive lineman has given up in the entire season.
14.
We know it's been a rough postseason for him. I mean, raise the hands out in Radio Land if you're dialing into his arms, the length of his arms. I mean, like, is this serious? I mean,
okay, the arm strength, the arm length is one thing, but Derek Hall, who weighs 254 pounds, bull rushed him into the quarterback.
That's one of the 14.
There were a lot of.
Okay, I mean, this is that's one play of the 4-game stretch where
what I'm saying
these are elite. These are elite rushers. Yeah. I get it, but you drafted a guy in the top 5. Yeah. You expect him to sort of be elite. I'm not trying to be hypocritical because once they start, we just got to evaluate. But Charlie, I mean, it's early. He had a good run. You can say the injury lingered and it affected his play, but he's not close in these games.
Since everything from the MCL on, he was bad.
Had another false start, and you heard Chris Collinsworth basically say they're flinching right now. They know they have to get a jump start, and that's something he had a problem with at LSU. He had a lot of false starts there.
He did. It was 7 or 8, I think, his final season at LSU. No, they were, and the guard had his problems. The entire offensive line had problems because they
mostly the left side.
The left side was way worse than the right side. Morgan Moses is a veteran on the right side, but even he had a hard time when they would send that double loop, and he had to get out there and get a hand on somebody. The number you're looking for, Jimmy, on Witherspoon, through the first 12 games of the regular season, 33 blitzes.
Oh, he did. Okay,
no, but this is the first 12. Okay. The last 4, the last 2 of the regular season, and the 2 in the playoffs, 0.
Okay.
So this is something that they haven't shown recently, and they haven't shown a lot, and it gave New England absolute fits. They didn't know what to do with him.
So game 20, he rushed half of what he did for the whole of the first 19.
Roughly. And one of them got wiped out by the offside penalty, which was another one which would have produced another TFL.
Why I like him so much is not just, but he is versatile, and he does bring a physical. I mean, you could say it. I mean, got a little honey badger to him. As far as how good was Tyron? In blitzing and getting there.
He was awesome.
It was awesome because he's so quick, but he's also a little bit stronger for his size than most. And a lot stronger,
and
actually.
Going after the ball,
when Witherspoon hits you, bro, he lights you up.
Yeah, he's going after the ball. It ends up being called a pick six. I thought that it was a strip sack fumble.
It sure did.
In real time. They went back.
I got to watch it again.
Still touchdown either way. He's attacking the ball there. And it wasn't the only time. That first drive.
Did he catch it on the fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The first drive of the game, this is New England actually got into Seattle territory, the 43-yard line, and they're playing a third down. That was the first time he came out. And they don't even touch him. He comes off the right side, and that backs him up, and they end up having the punt.
Part of that is because the element of surprise. And when you watch a tape, and I'm sure when they're looking at film of Seattle's defense, they're focusing in on the more recent games, the games in the playoffs, where you don't bring him any times. So,
sure. And then if you wanted to take advantage of some of the things that New England did defensively, and they did for 3 quarters, I mean, they did what they could. You talked about all the stops. The punter was phenomenal. Dixon, excuse me. He puts, let me get this right, 3 punts inside the 6-yard line and over 47 net yards per punt.
Special teams are very good.
Yeah, and they never got Shaheed loose, but the punter, and Myers makes all his kicks. None of them were particularly difficult, but he made them all. And the punter kept pinning them back even when they would get a nice defensive stand.
He didn't get loose, but he impacts the game, though.
Yeah.
You know, okay, yeah, y'all start at the 35.
Touchback on the open drive.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
Darnold missed him one time. Darnold missed 2 opportunities for big plays. One to Smith and Jigba on the scramble drill early, and he missed Shaheed on one in the second half that a better ball gets caught, but that gets lost in the Super Bowl shuffle.
You can't put the entire win-loss record on the quarterback, but it counts for something. And the guy's been in 2 different teams and won this many games. Yeah, he had some clunkers, a couple of key clunkers in there, but he is also, because you got him at a team-friendly discount, you're able to spend more on your roster, on other parts of your roster. And that's what it is. So, I mean, this was – and it's like nobody could figure this defense out but the Rams, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams aren't that much better offensively than these teams, and they just –
you know what I think
they went up and down the field on them, man.
There were a number of times where, and Collinsworth talked about it, it required some very quick sight adjustments for the quarterback. And Matthew Stafford, at this stage of his career, can do that, and it's probably asking a little bit much of Drake May to make some of these adjustments on some of these blitzes, get the ball out quick. Josh McDaniels, I didn't think helped him out a whole bunch either, but I would cite that as the difference, is that a quarterback of Stafford's experience can make you pay if you just make one little mistake.
And part of it is your team helping you and putting you in position, and win-loss record, the MVP vote and things like this. And I know they take the votes at the end of the regular season. It's a regular season award. But I'm sure the voters would like their vote to extend into the playoffs. And this thing, as far as their playoffs, between the top 2, razor thin, and the MVP, was a no contester. Stafford's so much better than May at this point. And then they just went against the same team within 2 weeks, and Stafford and them going up and down the field, they lost because they fumbled a punt.
Yeah.
Because maybe he didn't go for 2 when he was supposed to, and could have kicked a field goal to send it into overtime. Whatever it was, they escaped on their home field. They went to a neutral field and just good. New England was not competitive. And so with hindsight, it's a hindsight Monday.
Oh yeah.
In the Boston area, because the short arms, the strength of schedule. I mean, the May, everybody's ready to take May. Who do you take now of that draft class? Of those 4 quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. It has shifted a little bit after yesterday, huh?
Sure.
So, but he's getting killed, man. He was getting harassed. How many design running plays did they have for him?
1 or 2.
I don't remember any.
Maybe none.
I don't think any, Charlie.
Maybe not.
Because I had the under on his, and I took advantage of the line movement because he went under 37.5 by a hook, and you had a late running play on a scramble negated because of a holding penalty, so even more luck.
Right.
Okay, I get it. But I was watching, all of his running yardage were just scrambles out of pressure.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't remember one. I mean, I could be wrong.
No,
I was practicing my Espanol yesterday, baby. Amigo.
We got to see how we did on our props. I can tell you that you guys did Jimmy in particular did way better than me. We'll get to some of that. Get your you were in a large crowd yesterday. The reaction to some of the halftime stuff or any of the commercials or whatever. We got a lot more to get to.
Some of the commercials were pretty good.
No.
I guess
they were.
All right.
I liked the one with all of the '90s people in the Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, it made me feel not quite so old. It's like, hey, I remember all these people. I used to, when I used to watch television. There was some. I thought the Jurassic Park one was kind of creative. So there's others to talk about there. We're here at Chris's Specialty Foods. First thing I noticed when I walked in today.
King cakes?
Boudin King Cakes
Yes.
here. We're just Mardi Gras right there a week from tomorrow. So King Cake season is winding down. But if you want to get these delicious Boudin King Cakes here at Chris's Specialty Foods.
Yes, indeed. A Gulf South tradition with our certified Cajun Boudin. These cakes are perfect for a festival party. You're doing Mardi Gras somewhere around, or just stop on by and get one of our Boudin King Cakes over here at Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road, right across the street from Rufino's. Or you could go to their website as well, Chris Specialty Foods, chrisspecialtyfoods.com. And you can order it online as well, so either from our Baton Rouge or New Orleans store. So, we got stuffed chickens, we got sausages, we got sides, we got all the prepared foods that you need with easy heating instructions. Come on by and see us. And we do plate lunches as well in burgers and po' boys Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. Lunch is served here Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Chris's Specialty Foods.
Which means you can come in right now and see us here on Highland Road, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots, Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. 1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
And return here at Chris's Live at Lunch. Remember, you can always get the show on demand. 1045 ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. New Hannycast to drop today with a preview of LSU's hitters to go with the pitchers episode that we dropped last week. That's on YouTube. Brought to you by Supreme Rice, supporting our Louisiana farmers since the 1930s and celebrating their 90th anniversary this year. For more information, go to supremerice.com. All right, how do we do on the props? Not well
Andre
for me.
Stevenson, anytime TD.
That's the only one I got.
Plus 135, and
that one hit, and my other two.
Did you think did think it was complete?
I
it
did,
was close.
but it was close.
It was real close.
It was actually, once I watched the replay from the backside, it was like, oh wow, even closer than I thought. Yeah, very very close. But he that saved me from
think whatever was called on the field stays with that one.
It didn't hit the ground.
I thought it was clear it didn't hit the ground. Oh, but in slow-mo. When I watched it in real time, I'm like, oh, they got to go look at that. But I think we're okay. There wasn't a lot of bizarre – you got the defensive touchdown, but there wasn't a lot of bizarre stuff. No trick plays in this game. You didn't have a safety in the game. You didn't have overtime in the game. You didn't have a shutout in the game. So those, bizarre long shots, you didn't really get there. Some of your heads-up props on players, a lot of people were in on Smith and Jigba. He ended up missing most of the middle part of the game, so he only ended up with 27 yards.
Well, I could tell you this. One of the best players on the field was on New England's team. Ain't any doubt. Gonzalez was he good?
He had a fantastic. Christian Gonzalez
was
made,
he good?
Multiple. His three passes defense only started to tell the story. Early in the game, I thought, man, is New England really keyed into what they're doing so much because they're trying to jump routes? Darnold, a couple of those passes were just, really close.
Yes.
Are they going to get there? Anytime touchdowns was rough. You didn't get one out of the MVP in Kenneth Walker. There were no rushing touchdowns in the game. Stephon Diggs was really a non-factor in this game. Hunter Henry, Trayvon Henderson.
Well, this is one, Charlie. Now you were working at over 2.5 to attempt to pass, complete a pass, whatever. Okay, and that's you take a chance with that ladder. I get it, but this was not. This was all unders -1, and that it was the running backs receiving yards, and that's what it is. May went over his total in complete garbage time.
Yeah.
If the game is a little bit closer, he doesn't. To the point where the last 2 minutes, was that just give up? They weren't even trying to go for they weren't hurrying up. They weren't going for the boundary. They would say, we concede here. So, any TDs, well, when you only score,
right.
a few, less TDs than what you do in a normal game, it was a punt fest. It was an under minus the running back receiving yards. Of course, Walker went over receiving yards. Stevenson went over receiving yards. So Henderson went over at the end.
He did. Halani did not. Unfortunately,
no.
The popular no 2-point conversions. I thought Vrabel, love him as a coach, thought he made the wrong decision both times. Thought he should have went for 2 the first time and 1 the second time. The conversion didn't get there. What was that? So obviously no octopus either. And what else did we have? You hit your punts over pretty quick.
Over punts over 7.5. Yeah, that was over before the 2-minute warning in the first half. So it doubled it for the game. 15 punts. I mean, that's one of the most punts, biggest punt games, and this is what you have. And keep in mind, these are two, head coaches with defensive backgrounds, and both of these teams were fine punting leading into this game. They were not I mean, how many games do we have in the NFL now that nobody goes on fourth down ever? Not one time in a game.
Yeah, not very many. And Max, you had that one, right?
They had no conversion. Max did. But he was banking on the coaches electing a punt or field goals.
And I thought I was at the point in my life where I knew every rule about how to score a football game, but apparently not. Max, you want to explain? This is kind of an obscure one, but it was one of your picks. Drake Thomas's tackles for Seattle, and the total was 5.5. You can go ahead and explain what happened here.
Yeah, if you look at the ESPN box score, he's got 6, so he should have hit. But apparently a lot of these books, and they use the NFL.com stats, which do not count special teams tackles. So Drake Thomas was credited for a tackle on a punt in punt coverage. He does not get credit for that, so therefore he had 5 tackles and assists rather than the 6 that you might see on ESPN.
Explain to me how a special teams tackle is not a tackle, though.
I'm not sure.
Quite get that.
I know it shows up on the Seattle drive chart as opposed to when New England has the ball, but you also give offensive players credit on like an interception tackle. So.
Does a prop read defensive tackles over under?
Well, okay. As far as the prop
because that's what
goes,
it is.
Yeah, but okay, so that's fine as far as the prop goes. But just in general, forget about. Imagine we didn't have any money on this game. Shouldn't the NFL give him credit for a tackle on special teams?
Yeah, that's how NFL grades it. I'm not sure why they do it that way. I guess they want to go off of plays, offensive plays. You can't have more tackles than offensive plays when all is said and done. But you feel like
I know if they don't tackle
counts.
a guy when he's running back kickoff, he scores a touchdown.
Well, his
that.
value to a football team, if he's making tackles on special teams, he's contributing as well. Of course, it means something, so it should.
Yeah,
it should count in some capacity. But again, and it's not just one book, and they have different sports books that have different rulings. Different.
Right.
I mean, how do we talk about it all the time in rain-shortened games and things like that? What is an official game? 55-50 or 55.5, 50.5? I mean, it's a lot of house rules.
My problem's not with the books on this. It really isn't. It's more with and if the books say we're going to use the NFL.com as our official statistic, I have no problem with that. My question would be to the NFL. Y'all not counting special teams tackles? That doesn't quite make any sense to me. And then Kenneth Walker to get the MVP, 135 yards on the ground, another 26 through the air. Amazing.
161, and then it's a lot. If he's going to be the first running back to win the award, who's never gotten the end zone, he's going to have to extend, and he did. And look, keep in mind how long was the one he had called back again? About 40 yards, 45.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, that would have been his time. But he was the biggest offensive weapon, the most explosive player, most productive player in a game that was dominated by defenses.
5 runs of more than 10 or more yards.
That's
a big deal.
But that's all because 15-0. That kicker's got a shot. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
when you start, giving it dual awards like the Bears did, when their defense dominated, because Seattle's defense they were the star in this game.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if we'd have picked a guy, it'd have been Witherspoon, right? I mean, that's who I would have picked.
Him and maybe one other. I mean, who was the guy who was killing Campbell the whole game?
Ernest Jones ended up leading him in tackles.
I thought Byron Murphy wrecked the middle of the field.
Murphy was a guy that was mentioned. If you went that route.
Yeah, Derek Hall had 2 tackles and a forced fumble, so that would have made sense for him.
And that's where the defense is. It's hard. It was a collective. That's why you had. We just named 4 guys who had impact guys. I mean, yeah, they won. They're the stars, but the MVPs. That's what you get. But it takes a lot to give it to somebody besides a quarterback. So
that's the first running back to win it since Terrell Davis.
20 years ago,
28 years
28,
ago.
my bad.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go all the way back to Denver in the 90s since the running backs won this thing. Four defensive guys have won it since the last running back.
Lo siento, Charlie.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Marion Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose our great staff at Legacy Title. My buddy Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummings generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988. Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Click through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy battling the some illness to join us today, so we appreciate you playing hurt today, Troy. But let's get right to the Super Bowl. And when we last chatted with you on Friday, there was only about 15 to 20% of the total handling. But did it continue to pour in on Seattle minus the 4.5, and how much on the over?
Yeah, so we got a little bit of Patriots money on Friday afternoon and Saturday, but when the game kicked off, it was still in the low 70s, maybe just getting into the high 60s of money line money and even spread money. But all you had to do was watch a quarter, and you realize this game is kind of it's been decided in how the script is kind of going to go. The Patriots had nothing to offer. The line was just so good. So we did see a lot of live betting on the Seahawks at, the adjusted numbers. So, final results, 73% of the money and 70% of the tickets on the Seahawks, 78% of the money and 60% of the tickets on the spread. And so it's funny, obviously that Kenneth Walker run that was called back, that would have hit the over. And everyone was like, oh, my God, that was, backbreaker for overbettors. Well, really, and we didn't get a lot of live over action, as you'd expect. If anything, we got a lot of live unders, which did not hit because of that fourth quarter. I myself lost on a 39.5 and a 40.5. But in total, 58% of the money and 59% of the tickets were on the over. And while I've discussed how 70% of the money, 77% of the spread was a pretty remarkable amount for a Super Bowl size, in the 50s and 60s for over is also very surprising for a Super Bowl. Usually it's high 60s, low 70s, because the over is such a popular play, more so than a favorite Super Bowl. So, that wasn't as backbreaking as I think people thought, because the numbers were just far more on the under than in past Super Bowls.
Troy, you're in that neck of the woods as far as a lot of people are, because as the season was unfolding and Jaden Daniels was on the bench, and then Caleb Williams was having a nice sophomore jump up with his coach, and then Bo Nix is, they've got the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs, and so a lot of people are juggling sort of the redraft from that. Now the Skins turn Commanders fans are feeling like we're fine with what we just have, but there's a lot of conversation on kind of where Daniels and where this draft class is kind of reshaped, and depending on maybe what people you talk to around the country might have it different ways.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, I thought about it last night during the game. My buddies and I certainly talked about it over the last week or so, but I think the best takeaway is that just a damn good draft class. And, even if, unless Jaden Daniels goes the way of Robert Griffin III and his career is just blindsided by injuries and never really formed, sure, fine. But, this is also such a year-to-year league, week-to-week league, that the fact that all of the main four quarterbacks, with the exception of Michael Penix, have had early success. Bo Nix, who's been criticized the most, but was the number 1 seed. Drake May played not great in the Super Bowl, still got to a Super Bowl. Caleb Williams had a sensational year, obviously, Jaden Daniels last year. So I think it should just be more the class is really good, and pick who you picked, and revisionist history is going to be what it is in hindsight 2020.
Well,
you just hope that the hope now is Jaden Daniels has a career, and it is not a flash in the pan as we saw with our last Rookie of the Year quarterback.
The thing that I like Daniels, it didn't stop in the playoffs. He played very well at Tampa Bay. He lit up Detroit, and it really wasn't him. And we saw the Eagles kind of just push around some competition, especially in the Super Bowl. But it wasn't Daniels that they couldn't hold on to the ball in the fumbles in Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. So his success did not stop once he got to postseason play. So the thing is, he's going to be fine, Troy. Trying to be, but he has to protect himself. He's gotten a little bit thicker since his days at Tempe and then Baton Rouge. He certainly throws the ball well, but he's got to get down or get out of bounds. And the guy that does it the best is probably Jackson. I mean, he's had some injuries, there's no doubt, but he really, you know, it's rare to see him take. You see some of those hits that Daniels takes. I'm like, man, got to protect yourself. And then we're seeing that thing with Jackson Dart right now as well. You got no chance if you can't stay. You can stay out the blue tent.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the biggest thing, and I'm a little uncertain if he can do that. They've upgraded their offensive line, which is great. And it's just such a year-to-year league. Like I'm repeating myself, but like no one anticipated the Bears to be this good this year. Now, obviously, they got a new head coach who's an offensive mind.
Yeah.
But there's always bounce back spots, and look, like the worst thing for the Commanders, and this is going to sound weird, is John Harbaugh going to the Giants. I mean, the Eagles look like they've taken a step back. The Cowboys are mediocre. The Giants look to be on the uptick. Certainly, they have ways to go, but like the NFC East is super winnable every year. This is the first time in 20 years that the same team won back-to-back years. So he needs to stay healthy, but he's got the right head on his shoulders. He loves to prepare. He's such a smart guy, and he's very accurate. So everything's there. It's just you got to stay healthy.
Charlie, how would you rank him?
Right now, I'd have Daniels and Williams right there.
1 and 1A.
Yeah, and I would have May right there with him. I got to get yesterday's game out of my head. That wasn't all his fault. Plus his shoulder was hurt, and so I mean those three. I don't know. There's a ton of difference. The guy that is interesting to me is Penix, because the other four, you've had enough good to feel good about a long-term commitment. Next year's year 3, right? After year 3, you have to decide if you're going to extend the contract. Well, the four guys that we're talking about here, the top 3 guys plus Knicks, that's easy, okay? Even if they don't have a great year next year, you extend them. Penix, I don't know, because when Matt Ryan, who's the new president of the Atlanta Falcons, got up in his introduction, was asked about Penix, he gave a very lukewarm response to his future as a quarterback there. They're going to release Kirk Cousins here around the beginning of the new year.
They changed the GM that drafted Penix?
They changed
the GM. Okay, we know they changed the coach.
No, they changed the coach, the GM, and now you have a new.
It's not their draft pick.
Yeah,
it's easier to get rid of him.
Matt Ryan was very lukewarm in his comments about Penix.
I don't even include him with the other four. I mean, he's an incomplete.
Hey, we didn't mention J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, well, he goes without saying. If you are a Vikings fan, you are a little bit of.
Here's what you need to know about J.J. McCarthy, okay?
I mean, okay, we drafted him high. Okay, San Francisco cut loose on a guy they drafted high at 1.2. Well, we gave up so much for Russell Wilson. Well, Peyton learned 1 year that's enough. I don't care what our price tag is. We can't start rebuilding until we get this guy out the damn locker room.
Here's what you need to know about J.J. McCarthy. Over the weekend, the rumors started to pick up some steam that Derek Carr may make a return to the NFL this year, and the first team on the list was the Minnesota Vikings, okay? So that ought to tell you where they are with J.J. McCarthy right now.
Hey, I know it's a busy, it's just a lot, with the props, Troy, but anything that stood out, maybe a big bet or one that was just popular. It seemed like everybody was, including us, was over 2.5 to attempt to pass. It was very, very popular, with our contributors all week long.
Yeah, there was one play early in the first half, maybe late first quarter, where Shaheed got it on an end around, and I was like, this is it. This has to be it. And he kept it and ran for like 3 yards. I was hoping that maybe late in the game it'd be a blowout, and you put in a backup. But I don't think you take May out unless he's getting just destroyed. And he was getting crushed, but not like where his safety is in question. And you're not going to take Darnold out because you want him to finish the game and get in the victory formation and see this thing through. So that one stunk. Yeah, a lot of the props didn't hit. The longest odds one was like Derek Hall to record the first sack for the Seahawks. That was 15-1. Matt Collins to have the most receiving yards and to have the longest receptions, 13-1, 12-1. There's some plus money ones that hit. Interception return for a touchdown, 6-1.
Yeah.
A punt to be down inside the 5. They happened like 4 times. That was 4-1. So, yeah, there were winners, but, I mean, not a lot of winners, even though the sportsbook did lose on the main line.
Yeah.
We took a win across the board. And, Kenneth Walker didn't score a touchdown. I mean, the only big touchdown prop that hit was Ramondre Stevenson, and that was garbage time. And that was like the fourth most popular one. And Jigba not being a factor was huge as well. So,
Yeah, a lot of
honestly,
Smith and Jig would love. Yeah, yeah. We had some unders, though. We had a few unders on his because it was a big number at 93.5.
The touchdown prop reminds me. You ever see the roulette wheel in the casino where there's chips on every one of those numbers, and one of those numbers hits, the casino rakes everything else. That's how those touchdown props were yesterday.
Yeah.
And also this is that, I mean, compared to last year, now last year we had obviously the Chiefs going for back-to-back, the Eagles who are a huge draw. We did not reach the handle we did last year. I believe we came out more on top in terms of recouping or getting money for the book, but this was a down year from a total handle. Tickets were roughly the same, but in terms of handle, it did not meet what we did last year.
Do you think that's a little bit of poly market capturing some of the market? Did you see their numbers?
I didn't.
They're active.
I mean, I suppose I chalk it up to the team.
That too. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of things, and I don't know what percentage to put at the new poly markets and Kalshi and things like that. I would put the most reason for is being, this was a Super Bowl rematch of like a controversial finish, but that was so long ago that like the teams are totally different, the coaches are different. Even like the Belichick, wanting to hate watch the Patriots, that's gone. So this is just two teams that no one really expected at the beginning of the season. Good teams, but I think the matchup had a lot to do with it.
Well, how much would it have been embarrassing if they were, one team was playing with a backup quarterback like Denver? So, I mean, nobody wanted to see that. It would have been like,
There was certainly a bump last year with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. There were some new bettors in the market last year with all of that stuff. So
the Swifties, huh? There you go. So
I hate to admit it, that is a big deal, man.
What?
The Swifties watching and the interest in the doggone game. I would have never thought it. I mean, think about the biggest pop in when Prince played halftime or Michael Jackson played halftime. It wasn't like this. I'm sorry, she's that popular.
Yeah, she's got a following.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard.
She's impossible to avoid.
I've heard. Troy, thank you, man, battling the elements. We appreciate it, brother. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you Friday, man. Get ready for a couple of your favorite picks in college hoops as we shift up our emphasis that direction. We appreciate it, man. Get some rest.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Now, I do think they cashed that. Remember, I was like, you didn't know. Troy said it had to get worse for May for them to just pull him, kind of throw out those. Okay, yeah. If Seattle wanted to knock him out, they could have knocked him out. They called off the dogs. I mean, they went super prevent. I mean, you got a guy from they can't get a first down to all of a sudden 6 yards here, 8 yards here. It was all under, and you play that way. I mean, we're playing to win the game. If you complete 6 to 8 yards and we tackle you in bounds, that's a win for us in that, the game situation. But they called off the dogs, Dak. They could have knocked him out.
I felt the same way Troy did about them not pulling him because it's going to be a long enough off season for him. He's going to have to answer all these questions and all that stuff. He doesn't need to also deal with benched in the Super Bowl, which wouldn't have really been completely accurate. It would have just kind of been saving him a little bit more of a whatever. But that would have been a story. It's like, well, that guy got benched in the Super Bowl, and he didn't need that.
We talked about that with Stroud, though, and a lot of people wanted him benched, right? He would have the same sort of talking points this whole offseason. But
well, the difference is Houston's in the game, and they could have made a change. Okay, they elected not to. They were still. New England was done yesterday. I mean, they
felt that way.
Yeah, they were done. So, I mean, as bad as Stroud was, man, they were in that game until Booty's touchdown, where he caught with one hand.
Oh, that great catch.
I mean, it was still a one-score game till that catch, right?
It was 2 scores for a little while.
I'm trying to remember. I got to look it up.
What was the spread in that game? Like 4.5, 5?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if it was a two-score game when he made that catch or not.
I remember it was 13 for a time because I was critical of Vrabel for kicking extra
It was
points.
5. They were 5 when he caught that touchdown. They're up 5.
Okay.
They made it 12,
Okay.
28-16. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Man, if he's getting beat up, Charlie, I mean, I got to try and look and see exactly how much, how many design runs. Because don't you think the way they were not moving the ball, if they, the way he runs it, you would use it if he wasn't hurt?
Yeah, well,
So I think he was hurt.
Yeah, he admitted in the game, post game, he got shot up before the game.
Oh, yeah? Okay. The shoulder?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, my buddy Lucas Ragusa has worked in this industry and worked at all levels, so he knows exactly what is important to running an AC heating company properly. He respects all of the groups, all the different levels from the office to out on the field and the techs. And then he's put together a tremendous team, both in the Baton Rouge and New Orleans markets. So service today, every day means you call today, you will get service today. And you're not thinking about your AC units too much right now, but if your unit is over 10 years old, if it was serviced over the summer last year, if it kind of broke down on you, now may be the time to kind of consider buying a new unit. And now is the time, if you're going to replace a unit, is up to $5,500, up to $5,500 off select units at Total Maintenance. Give them a call, Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. They can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Sound Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Sound Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
The Seahawks were 60-1 at the beginning of the season to win the Super Bowl. Odds are out for next year's Super Bowl as we wrap up the football portion. Seattle and the Rams both anywhere from 9 to 950, which if that holds would be the longest shots to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season since 1977. That tells you a little bit about how wide open it is. Rams and Seahawks followed by the Bills, Ravens, Packers, and Eagles. The Saints at 150-1, tied for the fourth longest shot on the board. I think they'll be better than that.
So the team, the Patriots, played with an injured quarterback and had protection issues.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Hour number 2, straight ahead here at Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At lunch.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code Radio250BM, Radio250BM, and get your first bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250 whether you win or lose. Open to new users in Louisiana, age 21 or older. Licensed through Horseshoe Bossier City and Caesars New Orleans. Minimum odds minus 500. Award is non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos or full term. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com. This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummings generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total maintenance.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, we're not just windows. We're also hardy plank siding, vinyl siding, and wood windows. Check out our website to see what we offer today, GEAUXTommys.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
And we return here at Chris's, just across the street from Rufino's. Just hard to believe we're only a week away from Mardi Gras, but they are putting out the Boudin King Cakes here, Jimmy. This is one of their specialties. If you'll excuse the pun for Chris's Specialty Foods, Boudin King Cakes, we got them right here, ready to go for the next week here at Chris's.
Yes, indeed, man. And, I mean, they're good, too. it's a different type of thing. But, yeah, I mean, with all the king cakes floating around, man, the Boudin the king cakes over here are outstanding. You can ship them also. We could handle that for you if you want to ship them to another location. So if you're in Baton Rouge here at the Highland Road location, the Millerville location, or in the New Orleans area, in Lakeview, at our Chris's Specialty Foods, of course. Some great stuff. And, yeah, man, so, I mean, blowing and going over here for lunch today, Charlie, and all the different sides that we have, beef, pork, chicken, all the prepared food, seafood. We got gumbos and etouffees, so always good stuff over. Plenty to choose from. And what I like, too, about their prepared foods over here, man, it's good, made fresh. They seal it. They're going to vacuum seal it. And it's also easy heating up instructions.
Big weekend of college basketball as we make the pivot. LSU loses to Georgia 83-71. Tigers got out to a nice lead in the first half. They led by as many as 15 before Georgia started to reel them in and got a 5-point lead to the locker room. Some of the same things that had plagued LSU all season were on display here. The lack of three-point shooting. They were only 5 of 22 from 5 of 23, from 3-point range. McKinnon hit a couple, and that was pretty much it. Georgia hit twice as many threes. And their lack of being able to protect the rim when Michael Nwoko goes out of the game, which he did with foul trouble, it was a lot easier for Georgia to be active on the glass. They had 16 offensive rebounds in the game, so we've seen that before, too. The perimeter defense has not been good, really, for most of the season, and Georgia shot 40% from beyond the arc. And at the end of the game, LSU just, as my old friend Jim Hawthorne used to say, couldn't throw it in the ocean. They missed their last 16 shots from three-point range, lose the game by 12, fall to 2-8 in the SEC. I didn't see anything that shocked me on Saturday. I've seen this movie before, Jimmy, but you watched the game. You thought this was a little bit worse than maybe some of the other ones?
This specific stretch. So LSU get a layup by Max McKinnon, cut it to 9, 69-60 with 5:40 remaining in the game. And this stretch, there's been a bunch of stretches, runs go against this LSU basketball team. But the visuals, if you go back and watch it, if you didn't, I can understand if you didn't, but this was sort of a lack of, it's almost like a quit. It was just some real let me go detail for you. So, the big guy Cyril for Georgia, who's like the big dunking machine. He's like, first, second, or third in the country and dunks a whole thing.
Number 2.
So he goes down low and he gets fouled by Nwoko, who fouled out. No big deal there. Okay, he misses the first free throw. He misses the second free throw. Of course, LSU does not block out on defending a missed free throw. The guy's next to you. It's pretty simple. So Georgia gets the missed free throw rebound and draws a foul on Tamba. So Wilkinson goes back to the line for free throws. Hits the first one, misses the second one. They don't get the missed free throw again, and they give it to Cyril. Not only do they not get it, but Cyril gives them one of those crotch-in-your-face dunks to make it 72-60. LSU comes down on the right end, and Max McKinnon throws a cross-court pass into the third row. Wilkinson comes down for Georgia and knocks down an 18-footer from the left wing. I'm sorry, no, he misses it. Another offensive rebound for Georgia. They miss another 7-footer, another offensive rebounder, and a layup by Blue Kane to make it 74-60. They throw the ball inbound right to Georgia. They swing it around from three-point range and knock down a 3. Yeah. When I text you and say, oh, I know, yes, this is no big deal. This is not noteworthy that LSU had a run. Charlie, that's the kind of crap that if your administrators who are in charge of evaluating this are at the game, and they should be, because if you had a parade instead of a conference game, and I know there aren't a lot of fans, and some of them leave before these moments and stuff like this type of stretch, we just refuse to rebound the ball or try and block somebody out. 2 of them on defense. Layups, just throwing the ball away, whether it's in the third row or just to the other team. I invite you to go watch that stretch from 5:40 for that 10-0 run.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Well, don't tell me that's where we don't have enough money, because you got to find the money to not tolerate this. You run this back? You can't run this back.
No,
you can't.
And look,
I know you're going to tell me we don't care about basketball.
No.
You can't run this back.
No,
you can't run this back.
I've said everything I've had to say about this. There was a 7-point trip at, I believe it was Arkansas 2 weeks ago. A 7-point trip with a similar sequence of offensive rebounds and missed free throws. So it's not like this is unprecedented before.
I challenge you to find one that matches this.
Well,
we're just throwing the ball either in the stands or to the other team and not blocking out on missed free throws or being dunks. And show me one of these, brother.
A 7-point trip is pretty bad too. So yeah.
The 7-point trip. Oh, you're talking about one possession. 7
right, 7 points. I mean, because you can't.
Because they got offensive rebounds on missed free throws too.
Free throws.
I would say South Carolina not missing a shot in the first 8 minutes of a home game. That's as bad as it gets too.
That is a little bit of, yes, that's poor perimeter defense. It's poor defense, but not identifying a hot shooter. We've seen that a lot. This one where you just refuse to kind of like put a body on a guy. He's next to you on the free throws. I mean, it's like,
yeah. I've said most of what I got to say about the basketball team. There's 8 games left in a regular season.
I would not have been surprised if we found out they put out a release yesterday. Mac McMahon has been relieved of his duties.
If they do,
I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying, yeah. Charlie. This one was freaking bad, man. Oh, it was. You're not embarrassed by that one, man. I mean, that's just unbelievable.
The only thing I would push back on at all, if anybody said, was that I really don't want to hear about the Thomas or Reed injuries, because they weren't. Thomas is a good player. Reed was a good player, but there's way too many flaws in this basketball team. I mean, would they be a few games better, a couple, 3 games better? Maybe, but they're the apathy is beyond, beyond anything. I mean, it's just like the end of Johnny Jones. Remember those games where the only thing is like, well, how many points are going to give up tonight. 85,
right.
99. It's kind of like that. So it is playing out the screen. I don't, like I said, we've said what we need to. What we need to say about it.
They're playing 18 games at that time, right? Conference.
Yeah.
And it was 17-1 to the over.
Yeah, and I went to the last game, the last home game, which they actually won. I think it was against Tennessee, and you could almost count them. You could sit in your seat and count the fans, and there were entire empty sections. So,
we've seen multiple seasons of that.
Yeah, so you'll get 8. You got 8 more games of this, and then one and done in the SEC tournament more than likely, and then we'll see what they do. But I think we're in lockstep.
Still the first 4 out.
No.
Ken Palm still got them going 500.
No, they're 58 in the net.
They opened up a favorite in the game.
I know. They're 58 in the net, and I don't know how they're that high to be honest.
And Georgia's what? 500 team in the league,
huh? Georgia is 5-5. Yeah.
It's not like the undefeated Kentucky coming in here doing these type of things. We talk about the teams at the bottom of the barrel, South Carolina, Mississippi State, and then 500 team just comes in. It was a 1:22 stretch. That's all that was, an 8-0 run. But it was really rough. It was really rough.
Yeah. You look at it, and I mean they haven't.
I know you say nothing new, but
well, you've played well in 2 meaningful games all season. The SMU game, and I'll give you Missouri as a top.
I'll give them
17.
Arkansas.
Okay, well,
I got to give them Arkansas.
I was going to say in wins.
Wasn't it tied with like less than 5 minutes to go, Max?
There have been other games. They had the lead with 4 seconds to go against Kentucky. And in Arkansas, they lost that game by 4. They played well at Texas A&M enough to keep them in the game. Go ahead. You've been at the games.
I dare say beating DePaul by 30. DePaul is not a complete joke of a team.
They're 12-12.
They blew them out.
They're 12-12. They're going to have a losing record in the conference, Big East, which is not good this year.
But beating a Big East team by 30.
Big East is not any good.
Relatively, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, they're
a major decline.
They have one really good win in SMU in a neutral site against a team that beat A&M and had some good wins. Other than that, they've done nothing.
They have 2 wins against teams with a winning record for the season. SMU and Missouri. That's it. The win against South Carolina, it was on the road. I'll give them that. But South Carolina has a losing overall record.
They went and. I mean, if you want to, you gotta be. If you want to be fair, the A&M game on the road.
They were competitive.
Now Florida has. Hey, look, Bucky Ball. Look, we're gonna have to push y'all around today. They pop Bucky Ball on Saturday.
And
it's like 20 first score you see.
19 points in the first half for A&M was shocking. We're going to get to the rest of the SEC.
Well, if you saw it, they were suffocating the defense. Florida had a little extra in the tank for A&M in this game.
I should have known when I saw that line what it was. I was like, man, as good as A&M has played.
Which one did you see?
6.5.
All right, we opened 4.5 and immediately bet to 6.5.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of points to give A&M at home, and so I took it. Maybe I should have smelled a rat.
But Ken Palm, don't get mad, get action. A lot of sports book odds makers use Ken Palm as a guide to start. It's a very respected metric. Keep making LSU favorite in these games, please.
You're running out of opportunities. They're not going to be a favorite tomorrow night against Arkansas.
How many times have they been favorite? State. Were they favored against Kentucky?
No, they were small. They were favored at home against South Carolina.
South Carolina, Mississippi State, and with Georgia, they opened a favorite.
Yeah, they opened a favorite. I think that's it. Were they a favorite against Missouri?
Oh, they were favored at South Carolina.
They're favored against Missouri.
That's right. They were favored by 1.5.
Oh, more than that.
I think it was 1.5. Is what you can look it up, but
it was close.
It was something like that.
Missouri, they were favored.
Missouri favored. That's 4 or 5.
The only game I can see them being favored in the rest of the year is at home against Oklahoma, and even that is not a guarantee. They got to win at Vanderbilt this past weekend. So you
how about that?
You might have had. That might be the last
Oklahoma
time.
blows all these leads, all these double-digit leads, and then they just go into Vandy somehow, some way, actually had that thing down to a single possession.
Yeah, it ended up a point.
Oh, no, they hit a 3 to make the final score, I think. But that thing was like 15 with 2 minutes to go.
Oklahoma's lost some heartbreakers. The most obvious one at Missouri with the double buzzer beater, but they just can't seem to close anything out. They finally did this past weekend at Vandy.
Don't forget our friends at Go Chevrolet in LaPlace and Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Plaquemine. My buddies Lee Carney and Nick Richard, again, concierge service department, who was right here at Chris's Specialty Foods when they came and dropped me off a loaner so I can use to get around, work, and do what I have to do. And they brought it down and called me or texted me, called me, let me know what they had found to get the approval done for the work. And they do the work on it, and then they returned it to my house. That's right. So you talk about concierge service department over at, super, super convenient. Also, VIP pricing if you go by and shop in LaPlace or Plaquemine and mention my name, Jimmy Ott. Again, my buddies Lee Carney, Nick Richard at Go Chevrolet in LaPlace and Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
And we're brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, along with the Pierre Part Store, and in LaRose and Lockport. Get your lawn spring ready. Specials on the website right now, the Thibodeau Store, on fertilizer, weed and grass killers, seeders, spreaders, and a ton of cleaning supplies. If you're getting your property in shape here, is, you can see spring from here. It's on the way. Patio furniture, outdoor cooking, outdoor power equipment, all of it at thethibodeaustore.com. Also, special right now on Black & Decker products, over 100 Black & Decker products at the website. You can access all 4 of the properties at the one website, thethibodeaustore.com. 900 St. Patrick Highway if you're visiting in person, Highway 70 in Pierre Part. Same-day pickup if you are ordering on the website across the board, and delivery available on a number of these items. LSU baseball starting up this weekend, so if you're getting ready for tailgating, want some tailgating equipment, pick it up at thethibodeaustore.com. Again, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, open daily till 5:30, thethibodeaustore.com. All right, the rest of the weekend in college basketball, in the real good game between Alabama and Auburn was catching a couple of points with Alabama on the road, and that one was entertaining, to say the least.
G League dropout. I mean, even the Bama players had to laugh at it. It was pretty funny.
It was, and
G League dropout.
Sankey came out with his statement. We talked about that a little bit on Friday. But Alabama going on the road and getting that win now, Jimmy. That's three out of 4, and the one loss was to Florida. It's a tough place to play, but this is a few good wins now that you put together. You had a win against A&M. You got a win on the road against Auburn.
I thought I maybe gained a little bit more respect for A&M in that game at Tuscaloosa. That when it came down to the wire. This one, no, man. Your rivalry game, they're ready for you. And look, Auburn doesn't have the firepower they've had. They don't have Bruce Pearl. But still, Tahad Pettiford's there, and they came out smoking. And they hit them. It looked like they were going to cruise to it, a comfortable victory. But that's a very good win for Alabama. I'm still not putting them as one of my 12 teams that can win it all, though. I just don't see it.
Hardest strength of schedule of anyone in basketball, Alabama. So
the remainder?
No, so far.
So the toughest schedule.
Toughest schedule.
They do, and I mean, yeah, I could see that. Playing in that New Era tournament in Las Vegas to start off, and others. I mean, played St. John's in Madison Square Garden. The day Alabama and LSU were playing football, they were playing that game. Mm-hmm. In early November. They played a hell of a schedule. But and part of the guys, one of their bigs, not Bediako, but the other big, Sherrell, he looks the part, but he's just real weak upper body and just doesn't have, that's why he went after Bediako, because he fulfills, a need on his team as a rim protector and a finisher. But they just don't have it. But Philon and the other guard, they're fun to watch, though.
I'm sorry. I think Nate Oates has done a great job there. I got to see more defense to think he'll ever win anything there. I mean, they just don't defend. They don't defend well enough to make a deep run in the tournament, other than maybe a Final Four, I guess.
That's a pretty
last
deep
year
run.
They've made the Final Four.
They have made the Final Four.
The Final Four and Elite Eight the last 2 years. That's not.
They've had more talented teams than this.
Then wait up. You are a season ticket holder for LSU basketball?
Sure.
And you said that this doesn't impress you? Going to Elite Eight and Final Four back-to-back years?
it's all relative.
I mean, what the hell? We dealing with some different grade panels here.
Sure,
I mean, what
sure.
what
You have
kind of
to grade them
curve are we on?
You have to grade them.
Damn, a guy that how many years you had LSU season tickets?
You have to grade them differently.
How many
Four,
years?
probably. Since I got out of college.
Can we sniff that? Give me no defense in. Can we sniff that?
No doubt.
Charlie, I'm up being
grade them differently.
No, this is.
And who did they lose to last year in the regional final?
Houston.
Duke.
Oh,
Who they lose to in the Final Four?
Houston.
UConn.
UConn.
I mean, the
I
teams
don't
that
know
are
if they
beating
can
them are
beat those-
like nobody's playing with them.
I don't think they can beat those teams with the defense they play. They're
Nobody
reckless
beat those
abandon.
teams. It took a miracle for Houston to come back and beat Duke in the Final Four. I mean, that game was over. I mean, we're talking about the two losses. I mean, they played with UConn. It's a tie game with 10 minutes to go. I don't think that. Sure, I just told you they're big this year is not a rim defender. That's why he was desperate to go get a guy like Bediako. I'm sure he didn't want to go at him, but at least he's trying.
You gotta give him some slack, Jimmy. He's watched so much bad basketball.
But he's great in this guy. Like,
I
it's like third grade math.
View has been.
It's got like third grade, literature, and he's grading like Shakespeare or something, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
his view's a little bit jaded. All right, Kentucky. They lose the first two games in the conference. They are 8-1 since, and they had that win against Tennessee on Saturday.
How did they come back again?
Yes. Now, look, they're a half a game out of first in the SEC.
And I don't think they're that good.
Maybe
I'm
not,
Max. I'm
but,
turning to Max.
Their schedule coming up is real.
They are.
But you
they
sweep
got the week
Tennessee.
off.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee was ready to play in both of the games. Tennessee, the 17-point lead in Thompson Bowling. How much was this one? Like 14-point lead? I mean, they're up double digits at half.
Yeah, they were up 14 at the half. Tennessee was.
I'm watching the game. I mean, I never gave Kentucky much of a chance to come back.
That was their biggest lead. Was 14.
Okay.
At the half. All right, Max. You say the schedule's thickening up, and it does a little bit because 3 of the next 4 are on the road. But they got the whole week off. They got the midweek break, and then they go to the O'Connell Center. All right, let's say they lose that game. Fine. But then Georgia at home and then on the road against Auburn and South Carolina, those are all winnable games.
Well, the last 3. I'm talking about the whole schedule they have left. Ken Palm has
Well, they got 2 games left against Florida in the last 8.
Right.
So
Ken Palm has them as underdogs in 5 of the last 7. I know we just criticized
7,
Ken Palm
I'm sorry.
a little bit, but 5 of the last 7 games they have, they might be underdogs.
They've won 8 of 9 in the league.
Yeah.
8 of 9.
So
and the team that came, the team that came in bad, the second of these 9 games was LSU, and nobody impressed.
No.
With Kentucky.
They should have lost that game.
Absolutely.
Took a perfect
not
play
not
at the
just it took 2 missed free throws for LSU as well.
Yes, and right.
and then the perfect play, which was actually defended properly. But and then they go to Tennessee and come from 16, 17 down on the road. That's a win. Is Texas a tournament team? They're a bubble.
Yeah,
it could be. So
barely.
we don't know. We'll leave them at Vandy. You beat them by 25 in Nashville. Beat them by 25 in Nashville. Nobody's been at Arkansas. You follow that up, win by 8. That's the first loss that Arkansas had at home. I think that might have been Vandy's first loss at home.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, they lost at Vandy.
You lost to Vandy.
Lost to Vandy.
Yeah, that's where
you got blown out with
her.
her. But I mean, to Tennessee's going to be a 5 seed or less, huh? Or a higher.
They're right on the bubble of a 5 seed, and that's 21.
Okay.
So, but right there. If Kentucky splits these last 7 games, okay.
Florida lost.
Yeah, they beat Georgia at home. I think they can win at Auburn. It's not a gimme. I think they win at South Carolina. Vandy at home, that's a winnable game. At A&M, they're a dog, and then Florida at home. Let's say they go 4.
Florida twice is
Florida twice is tough. So let's say they go 4-3 in the last 7. That's doable, right?
Yes.
12-6, you're probably a top 4 seed. You go 12-6 in the league, because if that
a lot of non-con losses too.
Their non-conference schedule, they don't really have. Remember, that was their whole thing. They didn't have a quality win. Their best win was now before St. John's. Now they beat St. John's, but was Indiana.
Yeah, the non-conference strength of schedule is 53. It's not great. It's not.
All the games that they stepped up. Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, they all lost.
Right.
So they didn't get, it wasn't until the mid of December when they played Indiana where they got a quality non-conference, and then they beat, St. John's a week later. But what is their NET? It's probably
28.
28, yeah. That's see, I think the metrics is more right on this one.
Yeah.
But Pope's you got to give Pope some credit because, man, all we talked about was all his budget and everything else. We're like, shoot, look out for Kentucky. A lot of basketball analysts saying, no, Kentucky's my most disappointing team to this part. So, maybe he's doing some good coaching, man.
Yeah. Last thing in the league, Ole Miss lost at Texas. Man, you say it was only one game that got flipped because of the weather. That was 4 straight games on the road, and 6 out of 7 for Ole Miss because of that. Now it lightens up. Obviously, they get a lot of home games to come down the stretch. They're in a 3-7 hole. So when we're judging Beard, is all I'm saying.
Well,
this is a tough stretch for anybody.
They really, really go through some stretches offensively where they just can't score. And I mean, it's just really a fight for them to work for high quality shots. It's not what was expected on paper. He was supposed to have an improved roster from what was, a bad comeback away, from getting to the Elite Eight round. But he and his team, it has not been what we've expected out of a Chris Beard team that's building upon a really good season and a really nice Sweet 16 run last year. They just go through these stretches where they, these 3 5-minute stretches where it's just like they can't come close. And with D coming back and with AJ Starr added, just not. They got to be near the bottom of the league as far as offensive efficiency.
We're brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, your situation is unique. And you need to ask the questions. No surprises once you get to that point in your life. How much do I need to retire? When can I retire comfortably? What are my expectations upon retirement? Phil Fontenot and his staff can answer those questions for you. Go to coastalcapitaladv.com to schedule an appointment. Trust me, we had a long sit-down with them when we set everything up. And you're going to get some answers that are going to make you feel very confident in where you're going with your portfolio. So no matter what age you are, no matter what portion of your life, no matter what your income is, make a plan that makes sense for you and your family. I know we left out of there feeling very good about our future when it comes to retirement. CoastalCapitalADV.com. Member FINRA SIPC. Live at Chris Specialty Foods. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. The Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
As we approach Mardi Gras here, a week away, Chris's Specialty Foods now serving their Buddha and King cakes for the next week. Stopping by here on Highland Road across from Rufino's here, Chris's Specialty Foods. The rest of the slate in college basketball on Saturday, I did this just kind of on a whim because where I was, the game was on. I decided I haven't watched Arizona play besides the one time back in November. I hadn't watched them play since the calendar.
Tonight would be a good one. Peterson's been playing good for Kansas, so
yeah, I'm dying.
He's expected to play. So
yes, so I watched them again. So and put a shekel or two on it. They were 19.5-point favorite, 18.5-point favorite in a conference game at home against Oklahoma State. Something it was 19.5, something like that.
Yeah.
They covered by 17.
Yeah.
They are a wrecking machine, at least what I have seen of them. So I want to see them for sure, because I know that they've been that good all season. But it's leading me into what you're talking about, which is tonight at the Fog. I'm anxious to watch that one because I think it's probably their biggest biggest challenge of the season. I know they played UConn in Stores, but that was way back in November when they were still getting going, and they played Florida in that game at Vegas. But Kansas at Kansas in February, that's going to be serious. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one tonight. Kansas is a 1.5-point underdog to Arizona in the game tonight.
Arizona, man, they're due for a loss at some point. I mean, and Kansas in these big spots have jumped out to leads. They were the game that they were underdog against Iowa State. Iowa State was like 4.5 so that was a big number. They jumped on them and took care of business. I believe it was Houston earlier this year that was favored at the Fog, and Kansas came to play in that one. So whenever they've had their biggest, their toughest games, the games are only two where it's brought out the best in them. Yeah. So now some of those games were based on the uncertainty of the availability of Peterson. He's that good.
He is that good. And when he plays, they look as good as anybody. But even when he is out on the court, are you constantly holding your breath that he's going to just grab the back of his hamstring or grab his knee or grab his ankle or something, that he's going to go out of a game? I mean, they've questioned his toughness a little bit. I haven't watched him.
Well,
close
he did
enough
that
to
when
know.
it was the last game. You said, well, they collapsed in the second half. Well, that's when he didn't.
Right.
No. That was the game against BYU.
Yep.
Where they came back and from so far down, and he didn't play the last 17 minutes of that game.
Is it his toughness, or is he kind of thinking ahead a little
Well,
bit?
there's Charlie says hamstring. They say cramps. Can he be playing through some of these? When he leaves, it's not like they're carrying him off the court.
Right.
Well, what I'm saying,
it's
I
just
think he might
kinda,
be thinking ahead a little bit. I don't know.
Oh,
if
of course.
I think this is a little bit tactical.
His camp may be extra precautionary, where they know that he's going to be a top 3 pick. But when there's such a fine line in some of these guys at the top of the draft, I mean, the freshmen are outstanding. Is it a little bit of a cause for concern that he's not really one to play through a little pain? Or is it strictly cramp? I mean, with cramps, if you cramp up. I mean, but I know.
And it's not because he's not in shape. Okay,
I know. Oates.
He looks like he's in shape.
Yeah. Oates got all over LeBaron Philon because they're in a game in Nashville, and he's like, "Wait a minute. I mean, 18 minutes in, we cramping up. We cramping up for the whole game." He crushed him.
Yeah.
He basically called him out. Is basically what he did, saying he wouldn't do that if it was just the chronic cramps and they just couldn't do anything about it. He was publicizing that because, he thought the guy would, Philon was not playing through pain. I think he got a little bit of that. It's where they are, man. I mean, that's the only thing that could keep him from being drafted number 1, huh? He is. If you just look at his play and what he's done in big spots against big competition, he's kind of separated himself. But these little nagging injuries, I mean, is this going to be something that we have to deal with in an already load management full league?
I'm not ready to call him an overwhelming favorite to be the number 1 pick because Boozer and DeBoncha are right there. You don't think so, Max?
I don't think Boozer's in that class.
You don't think Boozer's in that class? All right.
I think Boozer's ceiling is lower, too. I think he's physically mature, which you don't see in a guy that's his age. But if we're projecting, I could be wrong, but I think what you see is what you get pretty much at the next level.
Peterson minus 425 to be the number 1 pick.
Okay.
DeBonza 4-1. Boozer's 12-1. That's the gap, and then there's a huge gap.
I was thinking about the year that.
And that's with these issues.
Yeah.
Correct.
I was thinking about the year you had Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, and there was a 3-headed monster that year. They were all in contention to go number 1, and it was back and forth up until about 20 minutes before the draft. And
Paulo Banchero.
Banchero, yeah, from the Magic. I kind of was thinking going into this season that it was like that. If Peterson is healthy and straight, yeah, I could see him being number 1. I don't know if I'd make him that big a favorite, but okay. We got a classic, another Duke classic with North Carolina, 24-footer at the horn.
It's kind of just not what it used to be, but Saturday night it was.
Yeah.
The Dukies are the stronger team. Carolina's on the improve. They're hungry. So when you pull off a big upset, it's more of a court storm type of deal. But it's against them, and the place was in. Even I thought the broadcasters did a good job, and they said how, sometimes this crowd here at the Dean Dome can be criticized for kind of, sitting on their hands a little bit. Not tonight. And I think it was Vitale was in on the call, was he, or who was doing the call?
I was watching without sound.
But they made notes, and when they were coming to their comeback, and it's the big comeback, and then you hit the game winner at the buzzer. Mm-hmm. You had a half a second. They smash it. And then typical Duke Fresh, Shire's crying after in the presser happened.
He hit me.
But he looked fine.
I've seen them win big games before, and North Carolina rushing the court. I mean, North Carolina basketball, man. Ohio State doesn't rush the field when they win in football, right? I mean, but I guess against Duke, 24-footer at the horn. We'll give them that.
It did have the juice.
Yeah.
It did have the juice. There's no doubt.
It's Duke and Carolina. Other games, Michigan State. We're getting towards Izzo time here a little bit. Illinois was as hot as anybody going. That was a tremendous game that the Izzos get in East Lansing.
Illinois seems like a really dangerous team in March. Like they could actually, to me, win it all. I don't know about what you think, Jimmy and Charlie, but to me, Sparty maybe doesn't have that ceiling that maybe Illinois has. But Izzo, if he could just get Fears to calm down and control himself, because he has this Grayson
Allen. He's threatened to bench him,
right?
Which he had done, but he threatened to do it.
The game against Michigan, he got really carried away and emotional and started kicking out and doing the things that Draymond and Grayson Allen were known for. But now we're getting even the is it intentional or not? There was a trip early in this game where it didn't look intentional, but now that's how he's going to be looked at. So he has the reputation now, so he has to be extra careful in these moments.
He's not just kicking out on his jump shots. The last one I saw, he did a mule kick into the guy's groin, okay? That's just dirty.
But
all right, you kick out on a jump shot, you're trying to draw a foul, you could call it technique if you want. I still think that's a little dirty too. But when you got a guy that is right behind you and you crouch down a little bit and you do a mule kick to the nether regions, man, that's dirty.
And they need Jeremy Fears. I mean, he was incredible in this game, 26 and 15. In 43 minutes. It goes to overtime. So it was a great environment and a top 10 matchup, but they've got to control him if they want to make a deep run, and that's something that Izzo's going to have to work with.
Illinois had won 12 in a row. They hadn't lost since early December, and that was to Nebraska in that one-possession game. They're dangerous. They are very, very dangerous, and they're still, I think, comfortably a one seed. There seems to be a drop-off between the top four, which is Michigan, Arizona, Duke, and Illinois, and the next group, which includes Houston and Gonzaga and Iowa State. There seems to be a little bit of a gap there between the top four.
Gonzaga's got another big game coming up with Santa Clara this weekend. They can't afford these losses in conference play, especially after losing to Portland.
Santa Clara good?
Yeah, they're one of the best West Coast teams.
41 in the net. It was one more game. Oh, Houston BYU was the last one I wanted to wrap up on. This was late. It had been a long day, but it seems like even with DeBancha that BYU is good, but maybe not quite ready for prime time. This is 2 or 3 games now I've seen them kind of step up in class. Jimmy, we use our horse racing analogy. They're a very good claiming horse, maybe not as good of an allowance horse with BYU. When they've had to step up.
You talk about a stretch where they, and a lot of these games are competitive, but they're coming up on a short end, a lot of the times, and
they lost to Arizona, they lost to Kansas, they lost to Houston. Okay, they lost to
Arizona. Arizona was a fluke how they stormed back with that last minute. That was. I think the refs kind of got caught up in the comeback a little bit myself.
And they lost to Texas Tech, which is okay. No shame
there.
Go
to Lubbock. That's fine, right?
They lost at Oklahoma State was the one.
Kansas beat Texas Tech last Monday.
Yeah.
Their second leading scorer sat out. He didn't play in that game.
The loss to Oklahoma State was ugly. That's not a game you should lose if you're.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah.
The rest of them I can make my peace with.
They're talking about. They're talking about the only reason that that didn't get a little bit more attention is because that's when Gonzaga lost their streak to Portland.
Yeah.
That was the same night. But no, that was a bad loss at Stillwater.
You talk about step up in class. Their best win of the season, a neutral site win by 3 over Clemson back in December. They don't really have that signature win. They've got 2 opportunities coming up with a road game at Arizona and a home game against Iowa State. I guess you could throw Texas Tech in there as well.
They're right on the bubble for a protected seed.
Don't forget our friends at Workbox, and Workbox Services can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial or residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, not just one standard size, by 8 by 8, 8 by 10, 8 by 20, or 8 by 40 feet, not just one size. It could be customized for any use. Lunchrooms, office spaces, work sites for plumbers, welders, climate control, shelving, lighting, you want to use different materials, whatever you desire, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martine Patio and Workbox a call, 343-4886, and WorkboxLLC.com.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
1950 Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. The Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony is taking it to a
Mike Anderson's tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Esco joins us from Las Vegas, and we do first class, second class, and no class. Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson's, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Segan near Perkins.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit ALS.org to learn more. That's ALS.org.
Think.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Here at Chris is now serving your Boudin King Cakes while you still got a lot of time left before Mardi Gras, which is a week from tomorrow. Fighting Will Wade's put their win streak on the line tonight. It is 6 in a row. They're at Louisville. This is a tougher game, I think, than at SMU, although it's somewhat close. So maybe the toughest game in this stretch. Jimmy, I know you watch them pretty close. It's 6 in a row, 8 out of 9 for the Wolfpack, who are up to 27 in the net.
Yeah, it's
6.5 point dog tonight on the road.
It's all since that low spot where they
Georgia Tech.
They lost as like a 14.5 point favorite at home to Georgia Tech, who's something like 2-8 in the league. And maybe it was more of a teaching opportunity for them when you get that. You better capitalize on your losses, and usually you have to capitalize as a coach, to try and because you usually have their ear a little bit more after losses more than wins, and they are just scrapping a little bit more on the defensive end. This team certainly, for Will Wade's teams, this team is more offensive. They got more offensive firepower than he had at McNeese State. Those McNeese State teams who wanted to yuck it up and try to get some here, which is dependent on their personnel. He had a little bit of everything. He had some guys that had some offensive skills. He had some bangers, like my boy Emmett Williams and those type of guys. This one's kind of a mix. But the thing that he's trying to do was Williams came over from Texas Tech. And we all think about what do you think about Williams? Well, we think about when they made the real deep run into the regional final and had the eventual national champions down 8-10 with like 5 minutes to go in the game. I mean, Florida stole that game from Texas Tech. I mean, for 35 minutes, much the best. And I'm telling you, the coach of Texas Tech completely out-coached, the young kid from Florida. But they give up that game, but that's what we remember last. So there was a lot more of continuity on that team. And so Williams, it's been a rough go to try and find his role on this team. And so people were even comment. He was taking some questions post game, and Will kind of blew up one time about it. He can't blow up because they probably paid for him to have more of an impact. But they're starting to learn their identity. Copeland, I mean, how do you see that? 16 assists and no turnovers in a game at SMU. A game that they were, that was a 50-50 game. That's one of their toughest games. So SMU might be on a bubble right now, but still NC State is surging a little bit, but also not the toughest part of the ACC schedule either.
Good doubleheader if you want to watch some college hoops tonight. NC State at Louisville at 6 and Arizona at Kansas at 8. Your ESPN doubleheader tonight. Thanks to the folks here at Chris's Specialty Foods for being our host. Again, Boudin King Cakes are now available tomorrow. We're at Mike Anderson's. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.